Welcome to another episode of Unraveling Success. And we have a super special edition. This episode is one I've been looking forward to for a really long time. So it's with my good friend Tom Wertish. And Tom and I just wrapped up last week 75 Hard. And so we were just going to have a conversation together about our experience and our takeaways. And this episode is going to be fun because, with Unraveling Success, it's, stories of success and kind of like pulling back the secrets to success or the journeys and like that type of thing. But I think a key part to anybody's success is self-leadership. And I think 75 Hard is a really good example of self-leadership, like showing up for yourself and doing the hard things when they're not so like flashy anymore. So my friend Tom, just a little bit about him. Tom and I have been friends for, I don't know, over a decade now.
Yeah.
Fun little fact about Tom and I is we both started. Tom owns an agency in the Western Metro in Minnesota, and I'm in Eastern. You're West Metro. Where am I? I'm Western Wisconsin. I was going to say I'm Eastern Wisconsin, but I was going to say I'm really East Metro more. So anyway, we started our agencies the same month, same year. Both started our agencies from scratch. And we both navigated our first acquisitions at the same time, which were both the same size acquisitions. So over the years, Tom and I do a lot of comparing notes and, SOS calls. So
Lots of good collaboration for sure.
Yes.
A lot of business out there. We're collaborators, not competitors. We're open books and sharing, and our friendship has been very important to my growth individually and professionally.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So first I'm going to just like share kind of how this came about. And so 75 Hard, I'm going to explain what it is. And then I'm going to say like, how did it work out that we ended up being like the last 2 people standing out of 9 people that started in a group doing 75 Hard. Okay. So Tom, help remind me if I forget any of the things here. So 75 Hard it lasts 75 days, and you have to do certain tasks every single day. If you miss any of them, you start back over from day one.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part. And actually, this is the second time I've done 75 Hard, and the first time I did 75 Hard, it took me 93 days to actually do it. So I know you've done it more than once as well.
The second time I've done it too, yeah.
Okay. So every day you do 2 workouts. One has to be outside, and they have to be at least 3 hours apart. You need to drink a gallon of water. You need to read 10 pages from a nonfiction book. The goal is that you're learning and growing yourself. You have to decide on a way that you're going to eat. It can be as simple as pulling gluten, or it can just be all out, doing something really hard. But it doesn't need to be hard, but you have to choose a way you're going to eat, and you have to commit to it. So no cheat meals at all. No alcohol. And did I forget anything?
Progress picture.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Good. Yep. You have to take a progress picture daily. Now, the cool thing, and something that I used, and obviously you can do 75 Hard without the app, but 75 Hard, the challenge, has an app that you can download. And so every, when you have something that's complete, you just, check it off your list, and they're like day, whatever, complete. And it goes all the way through 75 days. So that was always helpful for me. Like I had, alarms to like check on make sure everything was checked off to kind of protect myself. So that's that. So how 75 Hard became, why I decided to do it for myself, was that I had gone through like a very, very heavy travel stint almost all of March into the first week of April. And it was just like travel. There was one day where I was home. Literally, I landed from North Carolina, and I literally turned around within 12 hours, and I was at the airport again, going to Rough Notes. So yeah, it was just crazy. And so when I got home, it was just like I felt like the biggest slug, like all these dinners, all this eating out, all the happy hours, it was just felt like I just needed to like just get back to myself. And so I actually was like, I'm going to do it immediately the Monday after I get back home, which was funny because that Tuesday, the day after I started 75 Hard, it was my birthday. But I was also kind of like, well, I really wanted to start on a Monday and I didn't want to wait another week. And so I did start it the day before my birthday. So
yeah, we were on spring break. Same thing. It was like a 10-day spring break. We were on a cruise, and then we went to Los Angeles and Mexico and Santa Barbara. And I was like, oh my gosh, same. Feel like a slug. Want to do something different. Ready for change. You put the post out there, and I was like, yep, let's go. So the day after we got back from spring break was the start. And since we're both April birthdays, I did it for my birthday too. So
yeah.
we were both disciplined on our birthdays, so no cake this year, but that was fine.
Yeah, exactly. And so for me, I'm really team motivated and team driven. So having an accountability partner or knowing that I'm doing this with other people for me is the best way. It's the best way for me to ensure my follow through. Or if I tell like my team I'm going to do something, or if I tell somebody, or if I know someone's doing something with me and they're relying on me to be strong, like those are the times where I extra show up, versus if it's just me, myself, and I. So I had thrown out a post on social, like you mentioned, just saying, hey, like I want to do this. Who would want to do this with me? And so Tom and I started with 9 people. I really, honestly, in my mind, thought I'd get like 1 or 2, maybe 3 people that would want to do it. And that in my mind, because I didn't want to start a Facebook group because Facebook groups to me are so annoying.
Yeah.
But I also, when we had 9, I was like, well, this is going to be even more annoying as a text thread. So, because I thought it would just be text, and anyway, so it ended up being 9 of us. I did end up starting a Facebook group for it just because with 9 people, that made the most sense. And yeah, so you're looking at the last 2 people standing. So out of 9, 2 made it to the finish line. And I knew you would. I knew I'd get to the finish line, and I knew you would be there too.
Yeah, we have grit.
Yeah.
You got to have grit and discipline, and yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, question for you. From day 1 to day 75, like, what do you feel like? How have you seen your mindset shift? And was there any period that you found was like excessively harder than others, and or easier?
Yeah, good question. So I'm a pretty active guy normally. So like the workout thing is like just into my routine, but 2 workouts, hour and a half every day, no recovery days, right? Because a big thing for me, like normally, is like take a weekend day off, and get that recovery going into it. And so pushing through constant workout every day, like when your body is like, no, I don't want to do this, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
Like the mental clarity that you need to just be like, I'm going to do this. And of course, after you finished it, it was always fine. Yeah. It was just like the first couple steps of the, and a walk is a workout.
Yeah.
Right. If I was so tired that all I could get in was a 45-minute walk, I got a 45-minute walk, and I took the dog and I went on a 45-minute walk, and that is a workout. That's outdoors.
Yep.
That is active. That is getting steps in.
Yes.
I'm a biker is kind of my jam. I like to bike if it's mountain or road or gravel biking. So that's my preferable thing where I put in the time and the miles. And that's like what I love to do. So if I ever got that opportunity, it was great. Two things that I did that were really difficult during it was I ran 7 miles in a row twice,
Wow.
like not on the same day, but 2 times during the 75 days. That's how I
That's
ended
awesome.
it. I capped it off with a 7 mile run just because you wanted to go out with a bang, right? And of course, we're weighing ourselves. So
Yep.
we're going to look the best after a 7 mile run when you're all sweaty, and get rid of all that. But no, the things that I loved about it was so spend a lot of time in your head, right, as a person, no matter what. And you might be focused on the past and working through some of the things in your past, or you might be worrying about the future, anxious about some things in the future that are out of your control. But this really made it all about the present.
Yeah.
We had
Really
a
good.
checklist of things that had to be done each day, every day, and they were tough. They were time consuming. And you have kids, I have kids, we own businesses, we have a busy life. And a lot of people would say, I don't have time for this in my life. But guess what? You have time for what you make time for.
Yeah.
And we made the time for it. There'd be days that I was out at 6:30 in the morning. There'd be days that I was out at 9:30 at night. A lot of times I block off time on my calendar in the middle of the day for this. So for sure I'm getting out, but as I don't have any meetings or appointments in the middle of the day for one. And it was just being intentional. And the thing that I loved the most about it and that I already miss kind of in the week after hangover is the intentional actions, discipline, focus. Like it is so powerful to just be focused on the present.
Yeah.
What the other thing that surprised me, well, a couple things. Progress photos were a bigger deal than I remember because you could go back and look and you see yourself every day. You're standing outside of the shower or whatever, and you're like, oh, I look the same. But scroll back to like day one when you're on day 50 and you're like, huh, I got a little bit tighter looking face, or maybe I don't know, still got a lot of wrinkles, but that's just an age thing. But you could tell the difference. I could tell the difference in looking at the progress photos, which was a part of the app, which I loved because last time I wasn't as good about it. I would take them, but then they're in your camera roll, and you're like, I don't even know, it's buried. This time I could just go back easily and be like, oh,
yeah,
that was motivation to keep going and help with the discipline. The water, oh my gosh, water, obviously, so good, so tough. I had to add electrolytes. I think you added some electrolytes
yeah, I did
too. I don't know how I would do with a gallon of water without any electrolytes. I feel like I'd flush out all my salts and probably be in worse shape than possible. But when I added electrolytes, it helped with the diet because
Yes.
just drinking the water, I think the body is like, peeing out nutrients, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to eat something to get these nutrients back. Well, adding those electrolytes balanced that out and really helped me with the diet.
Yep.
And I know we both had good results. So during the 75 days, I lost 27 pounds.
That's so good.
Which was amazing. And I know you did a really good job too.
Yeah. I lost 22.
Which, as a percentage, you kicked my butt. So good work. What that meant for me at the end was I'm now at my high school weight.
Isn't that awesome?
Which, like, as an adult, I've gotten like 5 pounds heavier than this before, but this is a new adult low. I mean, we're talking a 44-year-old Tom weighs the same as 17, 18-year-old Tom did, which is
so amazing.
So crazy. And like, I honestly, like, I'm not a super emotional person, but at the end of that run on the 75th day, like, I just broke down. I was like tears of joy. Like, I would say top 10 life day, honestly. You feel so accomplished and so just all the good energy and the sense of, I did this. This is super tough. A lot of people can't do this. I just followed the plan. I was disciplined. And
right.
Look what happened. Right. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Right.
Right. Yep.
So I rambled on a lot about a lot of things there, but I'm pretty passionate about this. I love this.
Yeah,
I'm going to do it again. It's just a
for
matter
sure.
of when, you know.
Yeah. That was one of the thoughts I had was, I think I want to do it on an annual basis. I kind of liked the timing of it. I don't know if I'd overlap it for my birthday again or not, but I don't really, that wasn't actually a big deal to me. Like I didn't feel like, oh, I'm, like that wasn't a big deal. So, but I definitely was like, okay, I want to make this like, I do this once a year from this time to this time, or just the regular cadence to it. Yeah. I think,
Such a good.
yeah, it's just a really good, yeah. For me, I would say, um, I would say maybe the first 2 weeks were like the hardest, but um, I didn't really feel like they were that hard, but of the time, it was my hardest time. And I did travel one time during 75 hard. The travel was a little bit more of a challenge. Like it just have to like plan ahead so much.
Mm-hmm.
And so that part was that was a little bit more of a challenge for me. But again, I think once I was locked in and I'm like, all right, well, I'm doing it, because my brain kept being like, you're not really ready for this. You're not really ready. Like, are you sure you're ready for that? Or like, you're really going to commit to it? And I remember almost just like, instead of listening to yourself, sometimes you just got to talk to yourself and being like,
Right.
yeah,
We're doing
actually,
that.
like, you're never going to be like, I'm ready. Like you just got to, there's always going to be an inconvenience to something like this. You just got to choose to buckle down and do the thing.
For sure.
Yeah. Um, so walk me through what a typical day looked like for you. And like, did you have a schedule that you kept to? Did you?
It kind of evolved a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it got focused on like eating the frog fast. So, like, as much of it as I could get done in the morning, the better. Because otherwise, you're just thinking about it all day and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to do another workout. I have to
Yeah.
do, I'm behind on my water, or, and I think being intentional about just starting strong
Yeah.
really helped me. So I would change, not a big morning person, but I would start with a morning workout. Just get one out of the way, nail that down, and start drinking water. Like I'd have a bottle of water by my nightstand, and I would like get up, slam a bottle of water. Like there you go, you've got one down.
Yeah.
So that helped a ton because I would just be like in my head about like the things I had to do. And the later in the day it got, the more anxious or antsy I'd be about finishing. So I
Mm-hmm.
switched and moved things forward. And I remember as we were posting, like later in the process, we would start posting earlier that we just finished. And it was like, yep, finished. And, you know, it was never a race. It was always a
No.
collaboration, but it was more like we were evolving in how we saw how we needed to focus and how to execute this
Yeah.
most appropriately. Because as soon as I posted that thing that I was done, like it was almost every day it was kind of like a relief, right? That he just did it. Another day was done and I checked it off the
Yeah.
list. Then you move on to the next day. And so me moving things forward was big. Moving forward things in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So this for me ended up probably being like coming up with like a system or a schedule. So like I would say my weeks were like so super dialed in. It's like I'm not naturally a morning person, but I do make myself get up really early. So I usually do like up in the morning. I do my first workout early, but I like drink. I can drink water. Like I just drink fast in general. It doesn't matter what it is. Like I'm just a fast drinker. And so like I had this is, and I still do, but this is half a gallon, and I would fill this up, and then my goal was always to have that empty by the time I got home from my workout, my first half gallon. So honestly, by the time I get back home at like 6:15, and my first half gallon was done, and my first workout was done. And then I figured out little ways to like anchor habits. So like in the morning when I'm getting ready to leave for my workout, right? While my coffee is brewing, I just would go take a progress picture, and that would kind of kill the middle of that time for me. So it would just be like, wake up, get ready, pour your coffee, take your progress picture and fill up your water, get your workout done, get half your water done. And then I would come home and, I would, grab my second cup of coffee and then sit down and read my 10 pages. So it was like, by the time it was like 6:45, the only things that I would have to do the rest of the day was usually I'd go on a walk. So, and then I would do a lot of meetings where I would just walk and talk. So I just do my meeting on my phone and go walk. It's not hard. And then just finish my other half gallon. Like it was actually once I figured out the system to it, like, and how to anchor the habits, I was like, oh, it didn't actually feel very hard once I had a system to it. Now, when it would get a little dicey was when, you get your weekends, right? Like, and so your weekends just look a little different than your weekdays. And then that would be where I would have to be a little bit more intentional, but.
Yeah. Getting that routine was so key. And just like the weekdays, I ended up pushing things forward on the weekends. Like as soon as I could get that done, the better off. Because then it's like, oh, we have all these things to do. We want to go, to the lake or go with the kids somewhere. And it's like, how am I going to get a 45-minute workout in there? It's not going to happen. So just get it done and then get out there.
Yes. Yes, 100%. Like I definitely would agree. Like getting everything in early so you could be you can't allow room. Like there's no room for procrastination because life is going to happen, right? Yeah. Like there's no like, oh, I'll do it, later. Like if you have the space to do it like right now, then do the thing that you're supposed to do like right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's Murphy's Law. Like something will happen, Okay.
And I think we both got sick during it too, right? I mean, like you can't plan for. Maybe you were you sick in the beginning? I was sick
in the beginning.
I was sick like 20 days in, and I was like, man, okay, that's another angle that you can't plan for that.
Yeah.
So those were days where it's like, okay, I'm going to get outside and I'm going to walk. I'm going to spend a lot of time stretching, whatever I can do.
Yeah.
In the state of sickness, I'm going to do. And certainly drinking water definitely helps when you're sick anyways.
Yeah.
So, and eating clean is good there too. So, but yeah, that was tough being sick during it.
I had forgot about that. And you're right. Yeah. I totally spaced it.
And it feels like, I'm sure we got over our sickness better or faster because of it ultimately. Mm-hmm. But it was like, okay, mind over matter here. I'm not going to let this kill this. I'm 20 days in. I'm not going to let this 2 days start me over. I can't do it.
No, right. I'm with you. That was one of the things that I did. Like the first time, I didn't do a good job of planning ahead, which is what I really focused on that this time. But I also I would work out way too hard. So I would go do last time I'd go do body pump, which is an hour long. And then my outdoor workout, a lot of times we'd be walking the Stillwater Loop, which is like a 5-mile loop, which that takes an hour and a half to do that walk.
Right. Yeah. So they're at 2.5 hours. Like that.
Yeah. And that would be pretty, I did that often. And I got bursitis in my left hip so bad. Yeah. And I got to the end of it and actually didn't hold on to any of my habits because I was so fatigued. Like my body was so fatigued. And so this time I really focused on sustainability of habits and doing things that I would be able to pull forward after. So what have you done on, thinking of what you're wanting to pull forward, and have you, like, what have you done on that?
Yeah. So I wear a Garmin watch all the time, and so like it makes it super easy to track the timing and have all the activities. So
Mm-hmm.
just like you, like I didn't want to overdo it, because if you did something for like 3 hours, it didn't matter because you still had to do something for an hour and a half tomorrow.
Yeah.
So there was a few times I was on long rides with friends, but otherwise it was like hour and a half. That's it. That's fine. That's plenty. Like that is
Mm-hmm.
enough. That's the challenge. So I was disciplined with that. Um, Tracking, carrying forward, I think has been something that I will keep doing. I found myself, so we ended last Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and then Saturday we had a wedding. So I was like, you know what? We can celebrate and just take a day and just relax and rest.
Mm-hmm.
By Sunday, I was chomping at the bit to get out there and do something again. So
Mm-hmm.
I put an hour and a half in on Sunday. Like I took a day off essentially,
Yep.
right? And since then, like my eating was focused on hitting protein numbers.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I've done about every diet under the sun. I've struggled with weight as a teenager and adult. It's been a challenge. I found like carbs in and of themselves aren't evil. Fats, proteins, meats, whatever, none of it's evil. It's moderation. And if I would focus on what can I do to get my protein number, which my body needs for all these things we're doing, up,
Mm-hmm.
everything else fell in place because I was satiated. I wasn't hungry. I was drinking water, so it was flushing out the toxins.
Yeah.
And if I, you know, a lot of fitness people would say try to get 180 to 200 grams of protein a day. That's a lot, just in terms of quantity of stuff you're eating. I
Mm-hmm.
was shooting for 150. So I would just make like meats the focus and then supplement with protein shakes. So I'd have a protein shake right away in the morning.
Yep.
And that could kind of level set me for the day in terms of my nutrition.
Yeah.
And then at lunch, I would just have, meat with a salad or sometimes just meat.
Yep.
Uh, but carbs were not vilified, but they were also not a focus.
Yep.
So if I had a little bit of, you know, complex carbohydrate, that was totally fine. Brown rice or, something like that. I wasn't going to make that the enemy in this iteration of the deal. And it seemed to help me not mentally stress about that aspect of it because
Yeah.
it was, what, just Tom, hit your protein number,
Yep.
hit that number and let everything else kind of fall into place. And I believe that it does for most people. I think a lot of times, my firsthand experience has been you're eating to satisfy something. And for me, oftentimes I was eating to satisfy like the need for the nutrition that I would get via the protein with all the, macro and micronutrients that the body needs.
Yeah.
So if I just started with that, I didn't have to be chasing
Mm-hmm.
something I was already giving my body. So
Yeah.
that was really, it made the diet part a lot less stressful than it was the first time. Because the first time I did like a keto, essentially, which I think is a good diet too.
Yeah.
But it was also an additional layer of
Yeah. Like,
difficulty
yeah.
and I had better results this time. I
Mm-hmm.
had better results this time because I think I just ended up eating less because I was just
You weren't hungry.
longer. I wasn't hungry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I also was very similar. Like, I was like, I would say I leaned keto green, but I didn't keep it very like strict, but I was very specific on my protein. And same, like I that was like my number one focus. And one of the things I started to do probably, well, it's probably even a month in, is one day I was like, why am I not putting my protein powder in my coffee? So I started blending my protein powder in my coffee. Oh my gosh. Literally, that makes me so excited. I'll wake up just for that right now.
Perfect.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like it's the little things. And that's a big motivator for me. And I love it. Plus it's like, well, I'm drinking it on my way to go work out. So it's like I'm getting protein in before my workout, which is awesome. So
Yeah, I've gotten into these Fairlife or those protein shakes that are like packaged. They're really tasty. So oftentimes that was like the best tasting thing that I would eat in the day or drink
yeah,
in the day. And I was like, ooh, kind of look forward to this instead of
yeah,
it's like, oh, this is this chalky thing I have to choke down. It's like, no, this is actually pretty good. It tastes like chocolate milk or, like a dessert almost.
yeah,
So, that was helpful in terms of reframing that this is something I get to eat, not that I have to eat.
totally.
Um, I'm not depriving myself. I'm feeding what my body needs. So that reframe was super helpful.
Yeah.
What do you think the hardest thing that you did during the period? Like, what hit hardest for you?
Like the impact on the other side of it, or what do you mean?
Yeah, like, what do you think made the biggest like mental change, or obviously the physical change, but like what part
Yeah.
of it you feel like you felt the most growth? That's probably the right way to say it.
Yeah. I would say probably just showing up for myself, and making that like a habit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, I think, how
Yeah.
about you?
I think so too. A lot of times, like without the structure, I would give myself a little grace, and it's like, oh, well, you
Yeah.
can have just a little of this, or
Yes.
and we don't have to do all of this. So I don't think there was any one thing that like made the major difference. It was like the combination of everything together. Um, and it was our second time. We didn't do it together the first time, but our second time doing it. So I knew I could do it,
Yeah.
or I knew I had done it in the past. That was a lot of stress relief too, because it's not this big like I don't know if I can even do this. Now
Yeah.
this time I was like, I know I can do this. It's just I got to get in my own head about I'm going to do this,
Yeah.
and then it's just it's done. It's
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was a really good question. How many books did you read?
so mine was interesting. So I think it was 4.
Yeah.
Um,
Mine was 4.
I so I'm big on like self-help and motivation, and I'm like annoying to my friends and family about, oh, look at this, listen to this quote. How does this hit you?
Yeah.
And they're like, just shut up. Like, okay, we've had enough of this, but I just love it.
Me too.
And I do think at this point, I'm like, I think I've probably heard every motivational thing that's out there or some spin on it. Um, so to me, I like that. It's like almost my hobby to like read those things. But I also was redoing a portion of my website at the same time. So I was learning as I was working with my web developer about a lot of things that were super specific on like web design and SEO and user experience and layout. And so for me, it got integrated in this project that I was working on that I needed to
That's
be
really
reading and
cool.
learning about these things because I know you like self-help and you're big on motivation improvement too. And it's like, okay, how many more chapters of this do I need to read before, like my inner David Goggins is all channeled and I'm like, I'll be able to run bone on bone or whatever. And so this time that made it a lot easier. I did read a book about current events. I read another self-help one, but I spent a lot of time on this specific project, which was learning. It was almost like back to school, really, because it was
Yeah.
technical things and I enjoyed it. It was different and it was interesting, and I had to do it like you said. I was in the midst of this project and in the midst of our challenge. I was like, well, no better time. Let's learn as much as we can about this, and
Yeah.
I'm super happy about how it turned out. So I'm sure that was a big part of it. How about you? What books and how many and what did you focus on?
So it was 4 that and I start with why was one of them. I'm just trying to, Mike Stromso just wrote that book. What is the Power of Three? Something like that. And I am like totally blanking on the other two that I read. But I will tell you, one of the things that I started to do, and I started to do this with when I read Mike's book that he wrote, is I would, when I read books, it looks like they went through like surgery when I'm done. Cause I highlight, I write in them, nobody wants to read a book after I've done it.
You're not reselling that for used books, right?
It's all hacked up. And, but I started to, use AI. So I would go back to the highlighted parts and I would start entering like, what are the things that like impacted me? And then like, we have an AI that's like, I went through a workshop and it's specifically trained on like me and the agency. So like our values, our tone, our belief systems, like all of it. And so, then I would start to talk about the book and the book's principles and then ask it questions or ask it to like, so I would like have it help me pull forward information like the book with like Aspire and like me and just drill things down, which then would help me with it helped me with some of my time blocks. It helped us, it just helped kind of like really refine things. So that's been really fun, that I kind of like what you're saying, where it's like, it just helps you bring the knowledge, like a step deeper than just straight up reading, right? Especially when, you're applying things that you're learning right away. So I did too in a different way. Right. So yeah, that's good.
With the number of hats that we wear on a daily basis, we have to like maximize our opportunities. So it's like, if I could take this reading that I have to do and turn it into this project that I'm working on that I also have to do, like let's work smarter, not harder, and just be efficient and get it done. So that was helpful. Yeah.
One thing I did, because I think last 75 hard, I wasn't well organized and planned forward. And when I got to the other side of it, because I had overworked out as much as I had, like I really just kind of was like happy to be done. I did enjoy the experience despite not being well organized and pre-planned, but I really took more time this time to dig into like, okay, what do I want this to look like for me moving forward in today, like 76 and beyond? And one thing I learned about myself is it was really motivating having an app where you're like hit like you complete something. Like that was motivating for me. And so then I was like, okay, what do I want to pull forward? So I was like, you know what? Actually, the 2 workout today is not bad. I don't necessarily want to have it be where like one has to be outside, because it's raining really hard last 2 days. I know where you are too. And I'm like, I looked out, I definitely walked a few times in the rain over 75 hard this time, but I was like, you know what? I'm really glad I don't have to walk in that today. And so like I wouldn't have one of my workouts have to be outside, although I love it when they can be.
Yeah.
And the gallon of water is actually really easy for me. So like that I would keep up, and the reading I'd keep up. And, I think I can kind of throw out the whole progress picture. Like I could do without that. And, but I plan on eating the same. I mean, I'll have a little bit more flexibility in there, but really how I was eating worked really well for me. And really the last thing is like just trying to figure out what I want to do. Like, do I want to have alcohol as a part of my life? Because I know for me, like I've had a couple drinks since, and I really like alcohol. My body really does not like it. So I'm in the middle of really trying to just decision make, like, how do I frame that moving forward? Or does it even have a place in my life? But one thing I did after I identified the habits, and I'm going to show you, is I researched apps where you could build out habits and then track your habits. So
that's cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's this,
Oh,
there's this app I found. It's called Everyday. Really original. It's like a square green and it's like a gradient in color. And I just built the habits that I was planning on pulling forward. And it's the same thing. You just click on it once you've done it and it tracks your streaks and everything. So
that's cool. Yeah. Instead of their predefined habits,
yes.
you can make it your own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For me, I think being intentional about movement
Yeah.
is super important and to be carried through of like, I could drive the car here or I could walk here and it would take me 20 minutes to walk. Well, why wouldn't I just walk and do that, like to the kids' school or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
So just building in times of the day to be more just focused on movement instead of the easy way, which just get in the car and go.
Mm-hmm.
In the water too, I noticed my skin got so much better, honestly. Like you look at yourself every day and it's like, okay, I'm getting less wrinkles and the bags under my eyes are a little bit smaller. Now they're not gone because we're old, but the benefits to proper hydration. And I'm like, I think most people are pretty dehydrated. A gallon of water is a lot, but I don't think it's for a reason, right? So yeah, skin looks better. I feel better by doing that and eating clean. I'll for sure carry the clean eating forward. It's just so amazing. And I'm like trying to tell my kids as they grow up, it's like, you are what you put in. Like if you want to feel good, you got to eat good.
Yep.
Eat well. And you got to move. And that's how you maintain a healthy body. And it's really simple, but there's no magic pill for it, right? So it's tough. It just takes the effort.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the biggest thing about this, there's a lot of big things, but that we earned this. Like this was nothing was given to us in this. The 75 days, the challenge, mental, physical, I think the reason I was so emotional at the end is like, I did this, I earned this. This was just me and my willpower, my discipline, and look what happened.
Yeah. It's funny because, I posted about it like on social. I would, probably every couple weeks or so, I'd be like, hey, still at it and give an update or something. And it's funny because I think I just got to the end and I'm like, look at you. You just did that thing. But I've had so many people be like, that is such an insane accomplishment. I don't think I could do that. And I was like, I think anybody can actually do it.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's good. So, yeah. Well, anything else you want to add before we tie things up?
No, I think, well, sure, maybe a little bit. Just like what you said, if we can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
I would say if you have the desire to do it, get the app, make it easy to track it.
Yes.
Learn from our mistakes, build it into your day, be intentional, push it forward in the day or, earlier in the day as much as you can because stuff's going to happen. Life's going to get in the way.
Yeah.
A walk counts as a workout. Don't kill yourself with a diet or kill yourself with over-exercise.
Yeah.
Right? We both made those mistakes. This time we didn't.
Yeah.
And then try and find something that you're really interested in to grow in what you're reading in.
Yeah.
I think, and then, I think the thing that you did with the water, which was smarter than me, is just carry that half gallon around. Let's make it easy,
Yeah.
Fill that up twice and you're there. So the $7 app was worth its weight in gold or whatever it was. And a couple things. Yeah, I have a fitness watch that I love. Just build a routine around this. And then give yourself a chance because you can do it. That's what I would say.
100%. And you're never ready. Like,
it's never going to be great. Who wants to do it on their birthday? Well, it turns out it was fine.
Yeah.
Who wants to do it when they're sick? Well, you're going to get sick.
Yep.
It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
There's no better time than the present.
Exactly. Sometimes you just got to just jump in head first and just go do it. So
For sure.
Yes.
I have a feeling we'll do it again.
I think so.
Yeah.
So I guess stay tuned for that. Maybe we'll.
Yeah, there you go. You have to have us back and see what happens. Yeah. No, I just, I appreciate your friendship and the ability to come on and just, I'm proud of how far you've come and how authentic you are. And it's just fun to share. It's fun to be on the journey with you. And thanks for the invitation, because without it, I probably wouldn't have done it, And sometimes you just need that person in your life to just give you the nudge or the push. And it's like, okay, well, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And we're going to have fun when we do it too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Well, congratulations.
Congratulations to you.
Virtual high five.
That's right. Got it.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks, Beth. Take care.